All right, welcome back to day 2 of the review for Unit 1. Again, we're going to go through 4 different series of problems, so if you want to write these down, you can. Watch it as many times until you get it. You'll see problems very close to this on the assessment, and we will practice them in whole group. So, if you don't get it or you have a question and you've watched it a few times and you have a question, ask it in whole group, because that is the perfect time to do that. So we're going to start off with some more word problems. Word problems are just math that's hidden in the words. And you have to be able to pull out that equation that you see in there. So we're going to start off with this one. Sorry if my writing's not bad, but Mr. B does it fast. Paul is 8 years old. His dad is 4 times older. How old is his dad? Mr. B forgot his period. So, when I say, again, we're going to look for those clues that tell if it's multiplication, like addition, subtraction is usually less, division is split up into, multiplication is times. So right here it says Paul is 8 years old. His dad is 4 times older. How old is his dad? Well, again, if I'm just listening to what my words tell me to do, it's saying to do 4 times something. Well, we know that Paul is 8 years old, and it's 4 times bigger than that. So we do 4 times 8. And 4 times 8 is, well, I'm not very good at it, so you can either double, double, double with the 8, not my favorite, or you can just double the double. So if I do that, I do 2 times 8, and that's 16. And that's doubled once, so I double it again, so it's another 16. And I add those together, 16 or 6 plus 6 is 12. I can't put that in the one spot. I can put the 2 in the one spot, and I put another 10 up there, and I get a 32. So Paul's dad is 32. 32 what? 32 years old. I like labels, so if you can write that, that's perfect. Another example you might get is something like this. This has a lot of writing. Might be hard to read, so let me read it for you. Tim bought a Beyblade and a pack of Pokemon cards. The Beyblade was 4 times as much as the Pokemon cards. The Beyblade was $12. How much were the cards? So we know we need to do here is we know that the total, the Beyblades, when we look at our thing, times, but we know the end. We already know the product is 12. So 12 equals 4 times something, right? 4 times something. Because we don't know, because we know that it says it's 4 times as much as the Pokemon cards. So the Beyblades were 12, and they were 4 times more than the Pokemon cards. So the Pokemon cards have to be right here. We can even put a P, like P. And now we need to know what P is. So some of you can see it right away if you have your facts memorized. If you don't, you can just count how many times 4 goes into 12, and that will give you P. So 4 plus another 4 is 8. That's 2 times. Plus another 4 is 12. So 3 times. So the Pokemon pack cost $3. Hopefully that went well. If you didn't, watch it again. Ask a parent. Ask in the whole group. We have some more questions, so hang on. All right. So another thing we're going to quickly review is ratio tables. One of Mr. B's favorite, because this helps me put a lot of information really quickly. So you might see a problem where it says fill in the ratio table. So what you need to do is just fill it in. So you might have, this might be number of students, and this might be pencils, how many pencils they have. So every student has to bring 7 pencils. If I only have 1 student come to my class, I'm only going to have 7 pencils. If I have 2 students come to my class, how many pencils am I going to have? Well, I know that one group is 7. 2 groups, so I doubled this side. Well, I should probably have to double this side because I went from 1 to 2. So 7 plus 7, I'm doubling it, is 14. 4 groups is 28. Ooh, that doubled. then that doubled. Ooh, I went up by one more group down here. So I have to add one more group's worth. And how much is one more group? One more group is worth 7 up here. So I just add 7 to this. So 28 plus 7 is, well, I add 28. I know that turns into 15. But I can't add that there. So I add a 1 up here because I'm adding a little 7. Turns to 35. Whoa, 70. That seems like a big jump. But what times 7 is going to give us 70? Yeah, 10 times 7 is going to give us 70. And again, right down here, this went up by 1. So we go up by, if we go up by 1 on this side, we have to add this much to that side. So we're adding 7. And 7 plus 70 is 77. Real quick review on ratio tables. All right, some other problems you might see are these area models. So remember, we went from arrays to area models. So when we were doing our arrays, we had all those lines and we knew both dimensions. Too much work, too much work. So we're just gonna write how many boxes are in here instead. So right here, I know that there's my product is 48, it's on the inside. I have one dimension or a factor that is an 8, and I don't know this dimension or factor. So we have to figure out what, remember I have that pretend little hidden line, what 8 times what will equal 48. So one thing you can do is, if you don't know how to do this, you can make a ratio table, and 1 is 8, 2 is 16, all the way till you get to 48. You can also just count by 8s, so 8, 16, 24. I'm doing it fast in my head, but if it takes you longer, that's okay. So I have 3 is 24. Whoa, I noticed that 24 is half of 48. So if I double this side and I go to 48, I need to double this side, I get a 6. So 6 times 8 is 48. Same thing on this side. So I have one dimension or product. We're missing a dimension or one dimension or factor. Mr. B almost screwed it up. Theo, I know you're watching. One dimension or factor is missing, and we know the product is 30. So again, our thing is here, something times 5 equals 30. Well, easy thing. Mr. B loves 5s whenever you get a chance to use them. Just count by 5s till you get to 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6. 6 times. So we know that answer is 6. They just happen to both be 6. Let's switch to the next type of problem. All right. Our last type of problems that we're going to do are just kind of straight, simple multiplication. So if you know your multiplication tables, it's going to make it really easy. Keep practicing those, guys. You guys are doing awesome at those. But if you know your multiplications, it makes it easy. If you don't, you can use some of the strategies that we talked about. So in 8, you can double the double of the double. So if I double 7, it's 14, one double. Double 14, so 14 plus 14, that equals 28. 2 doubles. I double 28, or I add them together, and I get 16. I can't put a 16 down here. I can put my 6, and I put my 10 up there, and I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 56. Double, 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 double. So 7 times 8 is 56. 5 times something equals 30. We just showed this in the last one, so some of you guys are like, 6, 6, 6. Again, this is just a more efficient way of showing it than the area model. So 6, or you can always count by 5s till you get to 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6. This one looks scary. Something times 47 equals 470. Holy moly, those are huge numbers, Mr. B. What are you doing to me? Well, just remember whenever you multiply, if you look here, I see 47 and 47 here plus a 0. So whenever you're multiplying by 10, you're always just adding that 0. Oops, I forgot to do that down here. You're always just adding that 0 down here. So if I have 10 times 7, I just take this 0, add it here, but it's down here. So it turns into 470. Hopefully that makes sense. I call it the zero trick. Whenever you're multiplying anything by 10, just erase it here and then pretend it's here. And 1 times 470 is 470. Our last one we have down here. Sometimes multiplication can be written sideways as well. So something times 10 equals 70. Well, again, this is just the zero trick. So I can erase a 0 here, put it here. 1 times something equals 70. Everyone knows that 1 times whatever it is equals itself, so 1 times 70 equals 70. Actually, I screwed that up. Mr. B, slow down. He went too fast. Let's try that again, Mr. B. Theo, you can mark that down. Blank times 10 equals 70. Mr. B got too excited. That's okay. So you can just know, we'll slow it down. I have this 0 here, this 0 here. What times 10 will equal 70? How many groups of 10 to equal 70? 7 groups of 10. That zero trick was wrong. Mr. B's a little embarrassed. That's okay. Hopefully you know your 10s better than Mr. B does. That's our quick review for today, and I'll see you in the next video for the quick review then. If you have any questions, please ask them in whole group. Bye!